much was your bill from the homeowners association for cutting down that tree?
$1,450.
I'd like to see it, please.
That's the letter from the association, and then everything in the back.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous. There was no way for the association to repair the damage to the tree.
And I also have an email from the former HOA manager to John stating that he was responsible for everything else.
Well, I'm holding him responsible. I don't need somebody else to hold him responsible. And also for giving you your money back. Now, you say that there was damage to the sprinkler system. I wanted to see that.
No, I don't have a picture or anything like that.
Okay, fine. Then he owes you $1,650. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
You're a squatter.
But did the landlord go too far?
When you stopped paying rent, he started to harass you.
Threatening my kids, padlocking them in the house, and threatening to burn the house down.
Judge Judy.
I think it was fair. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed about that.
Those 3 trees belong to the homeowners association.
The homeowners association was very upset.
Just make sure they got someone that's licensed and insured.
I'm happy that more solar is going up, and so the more solar that goes up, the better.
From the station that's working for you, you're watching Fox 4 News at 5.
Fox 4 is weather aware tonight. We're watching for the possibility of severe weather. Tonight, the Metro is in the bullseye for possible storms. I'm Dominique Ricks.
And I'm John Holt. A tornado watch in effect now till 10 tonight. The first warning issued to our south and west. Meteorologist Joe Loria here now, keeping an eye on the sky.
Yeah, keeping an eye on these big thunderstorms that are going on off towards the west of Kansas City in such a weird way. This is so similar in terms of the location of the worst weather at the current time to what happened this past Friday night. So let's see what happens here over the next couple of hours. The tornado warning is in effect for Osage County. All right, that's really not in our viewing area, but I do want to give the folks in Douglas County, Lawrence, Baldwin City, down towards the southwest of there a heads up, because if this storm maintains its intensity as it moves towards the northeast at around 40 miles an hour, it's very possible that Douglas County may be placed under a tornado warning within the next 30 minutes. So I want you folks in Douglas County to be extra weather aware. When a tornado warning is issued, that means something's been spotted or indicated on radar. So far, we have got no indications of any actual touchdowns, although a spotter did report a wall cloud a little while ago down towards Osage County. We don't want you to panic. What we do want you to do is get into a safe place. And on the colors that you'll see on the television screen, the county will light up in red. So again, once again, this is down towards Osage County. That would be south of Topeka. That's moving off towards the north and east. And again, here's Lawrence, so you could kind of make your kind of straight line, if you will, and take it towards the Lawrence-Carbondale area between about maybe 5:15 and 5:45. So just want to give the folks in the Lawrence region a big heads up about that particular cell, because it is definitely exhibiting some rotation just towards the west-northwest of Lebo. Meanwhile, up across northern Missouri, look at all of this. My goodness gracious, so much rain. We've seen hail upwards of quarter size to almost golf ball size at times, and the roads up here are just a mess because of all the flooding. Right now, there is nothing threatening the heart of Kansas City. That may change, though, over the next couple of hours. The main concern we have are winds, hail, flooding, and the tornado concern is certainly there. Let's not let our guard down about the potential of maybe a tornado or two within Kansas City over the next 3 to 4 hours. Temperatures out there for this evening will drop down into the 70s, eventually lower 70s, with bigger thunderstorm chances, especially after, for Kansas City, especially after about 6 or 7 o'clock or so for tonight. So let's go ahead and quickly now check in with meteorologist Michelle Bogowitz. She's out towards the Baldwin City area. That's over towards Douglas County, and she's keeping an eye on this cell that's heading up towards Douglas County. Michelle.
Hey, Joe, we've been traveling westbound on 56, and we had just moved past Baldwin City. We pulled off to the side because we're coming up on 59 highway, and eventually we're going to take that north towards the Lawrence area and track that tornado-warned cell as that continues to lift off to the northeast. We've been watching these storms on the south side. We saw them explode near Emporia. It was very concerning. It definitely caught Jerry in my eye. We started heading towards them. I will tell you this, the winds have been incredibly strong at the surface. We've also been able to see some clearing, and as I go ahead and kind of do a little camera tour here, we're starting to see things cloud up. We actually got underneath the anvil, so as those storms will continue to move, I think we're going to be coming into the center of that circulation here and moving towards that very, very shortly. We started to see those storms rotating, and if we see anything at all, I will be sure to let you guys know right away. Michelle Bogowith, Fox 4 News.
Michelle, thanks. Meantime, in our metro, emergency managers are doing what they can to help us get ready for severe weather.
Fox 4's Reagan Porter is live at the Century Towers with how they're preparing.
That's right, Dome and John. We're here at the Emergency Operations Center where managers are monitoring this data here on this entire wall to keep people in the metro safe and weather aware. KCMO emergency planner Christopher Carroll tells me they monitor radar and cameras across the entire city. They're also in constant communication with the National Weather Service. Right now, Carroll says the biggest threat is strong winds, but hail and tornadoes are possible. Carroll says the best thing to remember when severe weather strikes, stay indoors.
If we do get into a high wind or tornado situation, seek the lowest possible level in your building and the most centralized room far away from the windows and outside doors.
Carroll says an easy way to stay weather aware is through Alert KC. Just text your zip code to 888-7777 and you'll receive messages from emergency management, police, and the fire department. And of course, you can stay weather aware online on fox4kc.com and on air. Reagan Porter, Fox 4 News.
Reagan, thanks. As we brace ourselves tonight, numerous parts of Indiana and Ohio have spent the day cleaning up from a full day and night of tornadoes on Memorial Day. At least one person died near Dayton when a parked car was blown into the 81-year-old man's home. Dozens more hurt. Damage and power outages are widespread. Those tornadoes had winds in excess of 140 miles an hour, a number of EF3s. A tornado in Pendleton, Indiana, had wind near 120 miles an hour. More severe weather back in that area today as well. Meantime, a woman is dead in Leavenworth, closer to home, after a massive tree toppled onto her home.
Fox 4's Sheree Honeycutt spent the day there as firefighters reached the victim's body and then spent hours trying to remove the tree.
Firefighters and crews from Wagner Landworks worked to remove this giant oak tree and locate the woman that people say took care of their neighborhood. A loud noise.
I heard the crackling and I took off outside.
An unbelievable sight.
I was outside about mid-level when the tree was coming over.
In this Leavenworth neighborhood near Madison and Spruce.
It was too late for me to run up there and help them.
A woman is dead after a tree fell into her home around 8:30 Tuesday morning.
We didn't have any storms or wind this morning at all. The ground is totally saturated and it's a very large tree and it looked like it just toppled.
Crews working for around 6 hours to recover the woman who lived here.
Our guys went in and started moving debris, and they did find the lady inside. They called EMS and kind of did an assessment, and because of the conditions and the trees and everything, they backed out.
The fire department says the old oak tree gave way while the woman sat on her couch. Neighbors say she was a kind woman.
She looks out for the safety of everybody.
I wish I would have gone and said hi to her now, because now I'm not going to be able to do that now.
And with more severe weather on the way, their fire chief is concerned this may not be the last tree to fall.
We got more storms severe coming in this evening in the area, and the ground's already saturated. So we think about flash flooding and floods and things of that nature, but you have dangers just like this.
Crews were able to get her out, but officials have not released her identity. They're going to keep working to get this tree out of the yard so they can figure out how much damage has been done to the house. Sheree Honeycutt, Fox 4 News.
The tree also caused some damage to the home next to it. No other injuries reported.
New details tonight in the arrest and charging earlier this month of a Johnson County deputy for domestic battery. A court document filed with the charges and obtained today by Fox 4 News alleges Eric Walker punched a woman in the face and put a gun in her mouth. The victim had stitches on her face and bruises on her body. Walker tonight facing charges of aggravated battery and criminal restraint. He remains on administrative leave with the Johnson County Sheriff's Department.
Authorities are investigating after a man was shot several times in Kansas City, Missouri. It happened near Stadium Drive and Bennington Avenue around 12:30 this afternoon. Officers tell us they found a man who had been shot multiple times. They say he was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
It's getting dangerous. It's getting more dangerous every day, and they're stealing these cars. We all know they're stealing cars. It's a sad, sad place to have to be, to tell you the truth.
A short distance away from the shooting, police say officers detained a man possibly related to the incident.
They're American heroes who have yet to be formally recognized. Two retired military heroes from the Metro spearhead a new campaign meant to honor military heroes lost to the war on terror.
And reducing the lines. The way Kansas is helping teen drivers who are getting their licenses.
Plus, what will be available beyond the books at one new library location in a booming part of the Metro. Fox 4 News at 5.
I think every storm is different. You determine how each one forms and what may make it dangerous. Every storm has a story that needs to be told. That's why I'm here, working for you.
New ice cream cookie sandwiches from Sonic. Delicious cookies and real ice cream are on a summer reunion tour. They taste so good live. Hurry in for Sonic Nights. New $1.49 ice cream cookie sandwiches and half-price shakes after 8.
After my accident, I needed money to pay my medical bills, so I called Mike. Mike put over $127,000 in my pocket.
If you get hurt, call Mike.
Call me. I've got this.
Call 816-888-7500.
Ready for summer? Nissan is. You can't miss out during the Summer of SUV sales event. All you need is a great camera, the right tunes, and a change of scenery. Save on it all at Nissan's Summer of SUV sales event. Now, save up to $3,000 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Road.
This cake batter shake is like my favorite yellow cake.
Reminds me of licking the mixing bowl as a kid.
Lucky you, I had to sneak a lick while it was still being mixed.
Wow, that sounds kind of dangerous.
It was. In fact, it was very whiskey.
Don't miss out on cake batter shakes with real ice cream. Half price after 8 for Sonic Nights.
Welcome back. Uneven sidewalks, crumbling curbs in the Metro, maybe an inconvenience for many of us, but for others, downright dangerous. Fox 4's Shannon O'Brien gives us a first-hand look at the issue and what's being done about it. Shannon?
Independence is an extremely important word to those of us with disabilities.
Susie Hake lives just off the Country Club Plaza.
Okay.
It is her playground.
This is my place to be out in the world, to learn and to share, and to eat and shop and spend money.
But lately, Hake has been bumping into problems.
With the crumbling sidewalks and curb ramps that have occurred over the years, it makes it real tough for many of us to get around.
In many places, Hake is forced out into the street, even at some of the busiest intersections on the plaza.
This corner used to be a perfect curb ramp.
Until a few months ago at Ward Parkway and Broadway.
I crossed the street and looked at the curb ramp and realized I can't get up it. They resurfaced the street, but they didn't bring that resurfacing up to the level of the curb ramp.
Hake must drive her electric wheelchair about 50 feet down Ward Parkway to get onto the sidewalk.
So traveling down Ward Parkway is another little scary situation.
Right now we're investing a lot of money into fixing ADA curb corners all over the city.
2 years ago, the citizens of KCMO voted for a bond to fund the Go KC project and fix these types of issues. 168 intersections fixed last summer, another 409 to come.
So it's a huge project for us right now, to make sure that all of the corners across every bit of the city are ADA compliant.
But issues on the plaza could be a bit tricky. The plaza has an agreement with the city that plaza management is responsible for sidewalk and curb improvements in the shopping district.
The particular issues you presented today, the question right now is how many of those fall under that agreement versus how many are other issues. And that's what we're diving into right now.
That has been in question for years. And we need to all sit down at the table and figure this out.
A city inspector has been assigned to assess the ADA issues around the plaza and determine who is responsible for fixing the deterioration. Shannon O'Brien, Fox 4 News.
Planned Parenthood is warning that Missouri's only abortion provider could close at the end of the week. Planned Parenthood claims the state is threatening not to renew the license of the clinic in St. Louis. Planned Parenthood is suing to keep the clinic open. The American Civil Liberties Union is also suing to stop enforcement of Missouri's new law banning abortions after 8 weeks.
As we stand right now, there is nothing threatening the heart of Kansas City, at least not for the next about hour or so. But the western side of the metro, especially out towards Lawrence, Douglas County, we're watching your situation rather carefully. An update on our tornado watch in a couple of minutes.
Wall cracks, sticking doors and windows, or bowing basement walls can be symptoms of foundation issues. Foundation One is Kansas City's trusted foundation repair expert. Protect your home with a customized solution. Foundation One. Rest your foundation on our reputation. Call for a free estimate.
Hi, looking for a great deal?
Yeah, we just got a cabin in the woods.
You must be pining for a RAV4.
We just got he just got a boat.
Well, hitch yourself to a Tundra.
Yeah, Tundra.
I got a job.
I got his stuff.
Well, you'll look like a boss in a new Corolla hatchback.
It'll fit your stuff.
It'll fit it all.
Lease a new 2019 Corolla for just $199 a month with $500 lease bonus cash. Or get 0% APR for 60 months or $2,500 customer cash on Corolla.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Ready for summer? Nissan is. You can't miss out during the Summer of SUV sales event. All you need is a great camera, the right tunes, and a change of scenery. Save on it all at Nissan's Summer of SUV sales event. Save up to $4,000 on the 2019 Murano, or save up to $5,500 on the 2019 Armada.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air Intelligence. 0% financing or instant rebates available. Call AB May today.
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
All right, about 16 minutes right now past 5 o'clock. We're keeping an eye on this storm that's getting closer to Douglas County. It did at times produce a wall cloud and maybe even a little bit of a touchdown towards Osage City just a little while ago. Meteorologist Michelle Bogowith is out there. And Michelle, why don't you go ahead and bring us up to date kind of where you are and which direction you're traveling.
All right, Joe, so we are on 550. We are going to head south, and how this is going to work is we're going to head south. I know that we had the option to go over towards Overbrook, but we don't want to be out ahead of that in front of it, especially if for some reason we aren't able to see it with trees. So we're going to dump south, and then we're going to head back and switch back off to the west and come up right on the side of this thing. So that is going to be right now to the right of my screen is where the center of that circulation is with that confirmed tornado on the ground. So we are going to get there as quickly as possible, as safely as possible as well. And as soon as we get eyes on that tornado, we will let you know, and I'll get in Rob's ear and we can get that picture up for you very, very quickly.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Michelle keeping an eye on what's going on down towards Douglas County, and Carly is here Gary is here. We're just kind of steps away from providing continuous coverage of a possible tornado. Actually, that was confirmed, right, Carly?
Confirmed.
Yeah. So there was definitely a tornado down towards the south and west of Kansas City. This is the cell that we're watching. That's why we've got that tornado warning in effect down towards the south of Topeka. But I bring this up just because once it crosses over into Douglas County, that's when we'll go into full-on weather coverage mode. And once it gets into the viewing area a little bit more clearly. The entire viewing area, with the exception of areas down towards our south and east, Sedalia, Warsaw, Butler, Clinton, you are not included in this tornado watch, but the heart of Kansas City certainly is. That's going to go until 10 o'clock or so for tonight. And for areas up to our north, flooding has been a big issue, and it's getting really bad right now across northern Missouri. A lot of flooded out roads, some flood emergencies being issued up to our north, and a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect up there. We do have a couple of warnings in effect for Jefferson County, Jackson County on the Kansas side, Shawnee County. That would include the city of Topeka. Those warnings will go as well for the next half hour to 45 minutes. Right now, though, at this very second, there really isn't anything per se coming up I-35 towards Kansas City. Now, notice this activity out towards Osage County and out towards Shawnee County. This is so similar to how things kind of evolved just a couple of nights ago on that Friday night. Things started out here and then gradually started to push our way. So we still may have about another hour or hour and a half window before things get a little crazy. But just a heads up for Wyandotte County, Johnson County, especially Douglas County, up towards Leavenworth County, Jefferson County. This will be the area that gets under the gun first, and this could happen within the next couple of hours. Some other storms are north of a warm front, so these are going to turn into more hail producers up towards Nortonville, Lancaster, Atchison, and Troy as we head towards 6:30. For this storm that's down there in Osage County, that is north of Melbourne, and that's going to be heading towards Carbondale by 5:35. And again, possible, if not confirmed, tornado with that. And Wakarusa by about 6:08. Again, for Kansas City, this activity will gradually build towards the east as the individual storms move towards the north and east. So we'll see how this whole thing plays out. But really, I want Kansas City, the metro, the vast majority of you watching me tonight, I want you to be especially weather aware after about maybe 6 or 6:30 or so. So this is when the real crux of the situation develops, and we cannot rule out tornadoes with this type of situation. So we want you to be fully aware and have your safety plan ready to go. The winds, the hail, the flooding rains could be a big issue as well before 10 o'clock or so for tonight. So our forecast plays out like this. Temperatures dropping down into the 60s by daybreak. The rain should be done with, I think, by around midnight. So this is just basically going to be about a 4 or 5 hour event, but a lot could happen in that 4 to 5 hours. 70s at lunch, 78 for tomorrow. Kind of a little break for tomorrow, and hopefully we'll play it dry into the weekend. There could be a few spotty showers later on tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. So there's a lot going on. We want you to be very weather aware for the next several hours. Michelle is out tracking the storm. Gary is back on social media. Carly will be joining me if they put a tornado warning in effect for a little bit more of a closer county to Kansas City. Guys.
Full team coverage, Joe. Thank you. It's never been designated as an official war. However, fighting terrorism across the globe has cost the U.S. thousands of military members. Only on 4, Fox 4's Sean McDowell talks with 2 local veterans with plans to honor our heroes lost to the war on terror right here in Kansas City, Kansas.
It's a matter of respect and responsibility. There are big plans in the metro to honor American military heroes who've lost their lives in the war on terrorism. Retired U.S. Navy Commander Jack Rush and retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Mike Prevost head up the American Fallen Warrior Memorial Foundation. Their aim is to establish a permanent national museum and memorial to honor patriots who've died while protecting Americans from danger.
We set out 4,000 here.
Rush and Prevost, along with their loved ones, set out 4,000 American flags at Kansas Speedway just before Memorial Day.
My family, my mother was in the Navy, my dad was in the Army.
Their proposal would build the nation's first permanent memorial to soldiers, sailors, and others lost while fighting terrorists, part of which would be interactive.
They need to be recognized, and the youth need to be educated as to how these deaths occurred and the sacrifices that were made.
Both Rush and Prevost point to the 1983 Beirut bombings as the war on terror started. 2 truck bombs exploded, killing more than 300 people. 241 of them were U.S. military members.
These individuals, over all these years, need to be remembered for the impact that they had to their families and friends.
And this foundation's leaders point out the young soldiers of 1983 would be in their 50s and 60s now, and they're worthy of tribute.
We wanted to create one that was here in the heartland, close to about 60% of the American population within a day's drive, and that's why Kansas City was selected for this.
Our hope is that this will be something that can help memorialize those who lost, battle buddies to come here and sort of decompress.
And to pay their respects to the fearless and faithful. Commander Rush says community leaders in Wyandotte County have been supportive to this idea. Lieutenant Prevost says the foundation plans a special fundraising and kickoff luncheon appropriately on September 11th. Sean McDowell, Fox 4 News.
For now, the memorial would only honor military members who fought the battle on terror. However, Commander Rush says he wouldn't rule out the inclusion of first responders at some point.
Kansas is trying to reduce the time you wait in line for driver's license services. The state is testing mobile licensing kiosks. For now, they're working with Blue Valley schools to get teen drivers tested and signed up quickly for a driver's license or restricted license. State admits a lot of customers were frustrated in Johnson County last year with the wait times at existing license bureaus.
We had some challenges last year with some long wait lines in the Johnson County offices in particular, and this is just an idea we came up with to work with the driver's ed programs where it takes people out of our office and then it's more convenient for them. It helps the other people by cutting down the wait lines in our other offices.
That first mobile office is at Liberty View Elementary School Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout June. Teens will still need to make an appointment on the Kansas Department of Revenue website, and don't forget to bring your proper ID. The state hopes to process 750 exams and applications next month in that mobile kiosk.
June is National Pride Month for LGBT people in the U.S. Ride KC is showing off its colors. Some of the public transit vehicles will feature a rainbow of colors over the next month. Private donations paid for the new wraps for the vehicles. Ride KC also provided food and music and free on-site health assessments at an event today outside Union Station.
The Royals would love to remind you All-Star voting is underway. You know what to do. Get online, vote for your favorite Royals. The 2019 Major League Baseball All-Star Game is in Cleveland at Progressive Field, July 9th. You'll see it right here on Fox 4. Beyond the books, how a new library location will help the folks in western Johnson County.
And the things you need to know about finding storm shelter while out on the highway. Very important. You're watching Fox 4 News at 5.
Fox 4 Weather is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Today, be weather aware. Fox 4 is tracking potential severe weather.
Baseball is back, and once again, the injury lawyers at Edelman and Thompson are partnering with the Royals to raise money for local charities. Injury lawyers who are #1 in results and #1 in giving back to the community. Edelman and Thompson.
To me, a chocolate milkshake is sacred. So when Atkins told me they were whipping up a new shake with 30 grams of protein plus 7 grams of fiber, I said, it better taste great. Wow. Atkins shakes.
After my accident, I needed money to pay my medical bills, so I called Mike.
I got hurt in a car accident. I got hit by a drunk driver. So I called Mike.
The ER bills were insane. I called Mike. He got to work the same day.
After all my bills got paid, Mike put over $127,000 in my pocket.
If you get hurt, call Mike.
Thank you, Mike, for everything.
My pleasure. Call me. I've got this.
Hurt in a car wreck? Call 816-888-7500.
It's hot and you need a pool. Super summer sale at Family Leisure.
Pools from $12.99. Patio furniture. We've got it all, and it's all on sale. Ask about the $49.99 spa special. Play sets, grills, and more. Summer sale. Going on now at Family Leisure.
Want to ride like a superstar, but don't want to bust your budget? Come to Superstar Cycle Center. We've got hundreds of motorcycles ready to go. Browse one of the largest selections in Kansas City of used, not abused bikes at superstarcyclecenter.com. All makes, all models. We have financing available and a layaway program. Find what you're looking for and never feel pressured. Big store selection, small store service. Superstar Cycle Center.
At Menards, nobody beats our prices, so you can save big money on updating your home. Indoor-outdoor carpet is a perfect option for decks, porches, and sunrooms. Status indoor-outdoor carpet is 33 cents a square foot. City Block indoor-outdoor carpet is 49 cents a square foot. Menards has the best selection of folding tables and chairs. Choose from a folding banquet table or fold-in-half table. They're $28.99. Plus, a Menards gift card is perfect for Father's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
For 25 years, Edelman and Thompson have been Kansas City's go-to personal injury lawyers. #1 in jury verdicts, #1 in work comp awards. If you've been injured, call on a winning team you can trust. Call Edelman and Thompson.
Fox 4 closed captioning is brought to you by Mission Plumbing, Heating and Cooling.
A brand new $21 million library about to open in Lenexa, in a booming area of that Kansas suburb.
Today we got an early look inside. This is the Lenexa City Center Library at I-435 and 87th Street. It has 79,000 books and multimedia items for checkout. The building is 2 floors with lots of windows to let in natural light, and there is a massive kids area where they can read and play. The new library will attract families to not only check out books, but also go next door to shop at the public market and swim at the rec center.
It's a safe place for kids to hang out after school, and it's a great place for the library, for families to hang out. I have a small child, and I love taking her to the library, and I can relax, and she can play and just do her thing, and I can sit and read.
The library opens to the public Sunday afternoon.
We have another weather update coming for you very soon as the storms move closer, and Fox 4 will have some reminders about what to do if you're caught out on the Kansas Turnpike during a storm.
And the reason why some metro pools say it's difficult to find lifeguards to work for the summer. We'll explain coming up on Fox 4 News at 5. Help those affected by the tornadoes and flooding. All of the donations you make at your local Price Chopper will go to the American Red Cross. Together, we can make a difference.
Give yourself a raise and put money in your pocket. Home values are up, and with mortgage rates this low, now is the time to put your equity to work. Get cash out, pay off credit cards, get a free mortgage checkup at Golden Oak Lending.
You're a big deal to us, so we've got big deals for you. Get more at the Big Deal event back at Men's Warehouse this Memorial Day. Shop our lowest price of the season with 60% off all linen. All dress shirts are 3 for $99.99, plus suits are starting at $199.99. Only at Men's Warehouse.
We added a $10 pizza to Tuesday, and boom, now it's Pretend Friday.
Happy $10 Tuesday, honey.
Happy Pretend Friday, babe.
For $10 on Tuesdays, get any large pizza. We make it, you bake it. Papa Murphy's.
Announcing the Hyundai Memorial Day sales event, a kickoff this summer filled with enormous savings, including 0% APR for 72 months on select models. Like the perfectly sized Kona, named the 2019 North American Utility Vehicle of the Year. Hurry into your local Hyundai dealer during the Memorial Day sales event and see why the longer you look, the more there is to like. Now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the award-winning Tucson, Santa Fe, and Kona. Hurry in now. Offers end June 3rd.
Golden Oak Lending's new Zipline Mortgage lets you securely upload your info and e-sign documents.
I got my mortgage online, right on my phone.
Whether you're purchasing or refinancing, visit goldenoaklending.com for our Zipline Mortgage.
Exceeding customer expectations is job #1 at Energy Pro Windows and Siding.
I like the fact that when you call them or talk to them, you get immediate results, immediately.
Plus, we're the only window and siding company to receive Stan Kramer's Seal of Excellence.
Call today and get $120 off of each window purchased.
When it comes to windows and siding,
we're the unbeatable pros.
Protect your home with a pro. Energy Pro, the window and siding professionals.
You're watching Fox 4 News at 5.
Fox 4 very much weather aware today as you take a live look, keeping an eye on the sky and on roadways in the event severe weather should begin to affect you. The potential for severe storms remains in place, and indeed we're already seeing some begin to fire.
Fox 4 meteorologist Joe Loria watching the radar.
All right, bear with me for 1 second. I've got a chaser on this storm that's up towards Linden, Kansas, down there towards Osage County. I'm trying to get a report if there's a tornado for sure associated with it. He's trying to reposition himself, so my apologies for being on my phone here for just a second. All right, I have not heard back from him. Okay, so here's the situation. This is down towards Osage County, and this is a brand new tornado warning. It does not include Douglas County. All right, this does include the Overbrook area. And this goes until about 6:15 or so. And this is a storm that at one point did produce a tornado. I'm not sure how long it was on the ground, and it's probably very wrapped up in rain. But for relatives or whatever, if you know any, out towards Osage County, that would be down towards 56. Make sure they're aware of that. And again, till 6:15, just a heads up for Douglas County, the storm's track is going to take it to Douglas County. So it's very possible Douglas County will go under a tornado warning over the next half hour to 45 minutes as the storm moves off towards the north and east. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect off towards the west of Kansas City. Notice for the metro, not a lot going on. I'm tracking this little area of rotation. This would be very close to the Fairfax area. There's 75 Highway, okay? And this is the northeast part of Osage County. This is heading up towards the Clinton Lake area into Douglas County. So again, this is the little circulation that we're going to track as it heads towards Overbrook by 5:47, Clinton by about 6:09, Clinton, Kansas, over towards the Clinton, Kansas, Lake Clinton area, and Lawrence by about 6:24. So you still have time for those of you in Douglas County to track that storm. We'll see if it tries to produce another tornado. Got a chaser on there. Maybe I'll give you an update here right after we're done. Northern Missouri, oh my goodness gracious, look at all these storms. It is a flooding mess up there, up towards Albany. All roads coming into Albany closed by flooding. All right, so you can't get into or out of Albany, Missouri. Up towards Bethany, they've had 6 inches of rain in just the last couple of hours. Terrible flooding situation going on right now up across northern Missouri. But again, here's Kansas City, and notice there's nothing right now heading this way, but this will be the cell that probably changes all of that over the next hour and a half to 2 hours. Tornado watch continues in effect up until about 10 o'clock or so. This is our one tornado warning, northeastern portions of Osage County. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings out towards northeast Kansas, way up towards north central Missouri. Hail, the biggest issue. If you ever grab video or capture something in a safe situation, send that information to me, Joe Lauria, Fox 4 meteorologist. Please post it on my wall. It gives me a better ability of getting it to your neighbors and your communities. You could also tweet it to me as well, Fox 4 WX on Twitter. Our forecast for the area for tonight, calling for thunderstorms to continue. All right, some of these storms could be severe. The risk of hail, flooding rains, gusty winds, maybe a tornado. This is going to be prime now from about anywhere from about 6:30 for Kansas City, maybe a little earlier, up until about 10 o'clock or so for tonight, hopefully a little bit earlier than that. Temperatures for tonight will eventually get down into the 60s, probably close to about 70. 70s heading our way for tomorrow. Not a bad day. Could have a couple of showers tomorrow night. Long Ranger calling for temperatures to be in the 80s for the weekend. Weekend overall, not looking too bad. Could have some rain as we head towards. Okay, let's pop up Michelle's video.
I know we may not have audio. Pop it up, though.
Can we get to Michelle?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there's Michelle. Can we talk to Michelle?
Hey, Joe.
Okay, Michelle, why don't you bring us up to date?
Yes, I hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so we are on that tornado warned storm. You can see very well. Jerry's outside of the car right now, and there is some really nice inflow with the wall cloud that has actually dropped down, and you're seeing that on your screen right now. At this point in time, I have not spotted a funnel. We have not seen a tornado or anything even reaching the ground at this point, but there is a defined wall cloud. There is strong inflow into this storm system, and this is what we are watching and monitoring currently. Winds definitely picking up. It is very, very breezy. There are strong surface winds. We're not going to be able to travel down this road anymore because the car in front of us, they are also storm chasers, and they warned us and let us know that the road is flooded in front of us. So we appreciate their help there, but this is what we're tracking, and eventually, guys, we're going to have to jump out of here and kick back up to the north to kind of chase this thing, and we will definitely have a great picture out the driver's side if anything does in fact touch down. So that's what I'm looking at right now, a defined wall cloud. On the back side of that, it is definitely starting to kind of muck up a little bit with some of the rain that is coming down, but again, no defined funnel, no tornado at this time. Joe?
All right, Michelle, thank you. I wanted to put a track on that particular cell. And again, this isn't per se our viewing area of responsibility. That's more towards Topeka, but this is more, if anything, for Douglas County. All right, so this is the area that they're watching off towards their west, and this is heading towards the Overbrook area, Lawrence by 623, and Eudora by 631. So again, for those of you in Douglas County, odds are, the way it looks, is maybe a tornado warning is coming for you very, very shortly. Let's send it back to the desk.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much. As severe weather threatens our region, the Kansas Turnpike wants the drivers to know it has shelters at nearly all of its plazas.
As that line moves toward the Turnpike, they're open to the public. Fox 4's John Pepitone reports from the Lawrence service area on I-70 to explain how you can use the shelters. John?
Inside the convenience store behind me is a fortified concrete bunker that serves as a storage room most of the time.
I had no idea. I've never even heard this even spoken about out here.
Truck drivers like Brandon Tolliver work in all kinds of weather as he's traveled through nearly every state in the nation. He's thankful that the Kansas Turnpike Authority has installed 30 shelters like this one all along the toll road that cuts through the heart of Tornado Alley.
I mean, we never know, how the weather's going to be out here. We're kind of taking a chance every day, putting our life on the line for our family. So it would give us a little peace of mind to kind of know, the precautions to take when the weather comes.
In a tornado emergency, at least a dozen people can seek shelter inside concrete walled rooms like this one. The Turnpike Authority in 2015 installed bunkers at nearly all of its plazas along the 236-mile route.
Now that I'm aware, I think it's a problem because none of us truckers know about it. I think that's kind of the big deal.
A convenience store manager says he's never had to use the shelter, but customers do ask about it when the sky is gray. He says the Turnpike did have a scare last week near Emporia when a tornado was spotted there. Workers on the tollway did use the shelters at that time. If you're planning a trip on the Turnpike, you can learn where all of the tornado shelters are located by going to our website, fox4kc.com. John Pepitone, Fox 4 News.
The Turnpike shelters are not for those who live nearby. The Kansas Highway Patrol says it's safest to remain in your home during a storm. South of here, high water has now forced the closure of a heavily traveled highway bridge in Arkansas. This bridge on Interstate 540 connects the cities of Fort Smith and Van Buren, Arkansas. The Arkansas River is way above flood stage. The city of Fort Smith says there are basically just 2 bridges into the city that are still currently open. If you are away from the TV, we'll stream severe weather information on Facebook and our website. That's fox4kc.com. You're watching Fox 4 News at 5. We'll be back right after this.
Fox 4 Weather is brought to you by Gladstone, the KC Powerhouse.
How would you like to see what your newly remodeled kitchen or bathroom will look like before you ever start the job? With Jericho, you can. Call us for a free design consultation. Our design specialists will come out to your home, design your kitchen or bath using our exclusive software, show you what it'll look like, and give you an ironclad quote for your project right there on the spot, on the first visit, for free. So call Jericho now for a free design consultation. Call today and receive 10% off your remodeling project.
New ice cream cookie sandwiches from Sonic. Delicious cookies and real ice cream are on a summer reunion tour. They taste so good live. Hurry in for Sonic Nights. New $1.49 ice cream cookie sandwiches and half-price shakes after 8.
Ready for summer? Nissan is. You can't miss out during the Summer of SUV sales event. All you need is a great camera, the right tunes, and a change of scenery. Save on it all at Nissan's Summer of SUV sales event. Now, save up to $3,000 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Rogue.
After my accident, I couldn't work.
So I called Mike. Mike put over $95,000 in my pocket.
Mike is the man.
Call me. I've got this.
Call 816-888-7500.
Many of our aging loved ones with dementia need more care than provided at home. If you are worried that your loved one is unsafe or lonely, Cross Creek at Lee Summit Assisted Living could be your perfect solution. Your loved one will be cared for by an attentive 24-hour licensed nursing staff, and specialized care programs with medication management will keep your loved one healthy and active in a supportive environment. Call 816-607-5700 today to schedule your tour or go online at crosscreekatleesummit.com.
When I came to Restorative Health, one of my goals was to lose weight, and I had been doing many diets over the years. My weight would be constantly up and down. A friend referred me to Restorative Health. They didn't put me on a diet, they put me on a program. I had more energy, so I felt like exercising, and all of that just kind of contributed to the weight loss. Having lost all of the weight, I feel much more confident, so I'm very happy with the results.
Go to takethetest123.com today.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
All right, 5:43 right now. We are now going to go into continuous weather mode. We do have a tornado warning now in effect for Douglas County as well as parts of Franklin County. And this is going to go up until about 6:30 or so. And this is for the storm that meteorologist Michelle Bogowitz has been tracking as it gets ready to move into the Douglas County area. We'll get to Michelle in just a second, but here's the warning information. Again, this would be from around the Lawrence area down towards Wellsville, right along the county line. And then the previous warning for northeastern Osage County continues. But Douglas County now, you folks are under a tornado warning, and this is going to go up until about 6:30 or so. So again, we want you folks in Douglas County, especially southwest of Lawrence, to go ahead and take cover from this storm. Franklin County as well, but it's the far northern tip of Franklin County. We're getting close to 1,000 lightning strikes with this powerful thunderstorm that's going through various signs of reorganization. If there's a tornado right now, and that's still a big if, all right, this is going to be over towards the Pomona Lake area. So again, just a heads up for that area, especially down towards here, heading off towards the north and east. This would be heading towards Clinton and Lawrence. Lawrence by somewhere around 6:15, give or take. Tongi by 6:30 if it holds together, in Basar by about 6:40 or so. Rob, did you mention that Michelle's ready to go? Okay, so we'll get over to meteorologist Carly Ritter very quickly for a quick update, and then we're going to try to jump on and get with Michelle. Her signal is frozen up temporarily on us. Carly.
Yeah, she's kind of in some country roads, so as we continue to reestablish a connection with her, we're going to talk about this particular warning that was just extended now until 6:15 for Osage County. This is the area that we're focusing on, and Gary, Frank, Joe, and I have been monitoring this storm, and we're going to put this into motion, maybe get the most updated scan here, Gary, because I think this is from 5:40. So let's get this a little bit into motion here so we can get the most recent scan there, buddy. And yeah, Douglas County, Franklin County, you are now under a tornado warning until 6:30 this evening. And Rob, you're just going to have to let me know if we get Michelle hooked back up, because we'll dump into her, because she is right in the most, in our opinion, one of the best spots to view this storm. She's not underneath the rain shield necessarily. She is just to the east of this circulation. And if you're in Wakarusa around 6:23, we're anticipating this to be near your vicinity. Lawrence, or just to the south side of Lawrence, around 6:27. So if you're in the town of Lawrence, you're hearing the sirens right now. As you're joining us for this extended coverage of these tornadoes as they're going on and the warnings are starting to filter into our own viewing area, we do want to remind you all, we are going to be streaming on our app. We are going to be streaming on our website as well as Facebook. So when we tell you to take cover, know that you'll be able to continue getting your information streamed online on those 3 different avenues. So we're definitely wanting you to keep that in mind, especially if you're in the path of this tornado warning system, which right now that tornado warning continues until 6:15 for those of you in Osage County. For those of you in Douglas County, this goes until 6:30. For those of you in Franklin County, this goes until 6:30. It was near Pomona Lake, excuse me, until about the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'm trying to get some updated information. Bear with me here, and it's moving northeast at 35. Joe, we haven't had any confirmed reports of this actually on the ground in the last couple of cycles. The rotation was looking not nearly as defined or tight, but it was a broader circulation. And Michelle was watching this system, and it did have a wall cloud associated with it. So maybe we can get to you, get some more information on that. We're going to extend this warning, though. The Weather Service did until 6:30 for those of you in Franklin as well as Douglas counties.
Yeah, so a couple of things that we're trying to track here with all of this. And again, the little couplet area might be right down through there, perhaps even maybe a little bit down through there. Everything moving off towards the northeast at close to 40 miles an hour. And for you folks in Douglas County, and Lawrence seems to be right on the edge of this, you folks are under a tornado warning now up until about 6:30 or so. There was a brief touchdown, we think. Okay, this would be over towards the Osage City area. Didn't get any reports of damage or anything like that. But when I was talking to some of the storm spotters and some of the storm chasers who have been texting me, they were indicating that this thing may very well be wrapped in some rain. Now, Michelle's got a really good angle on this right now, and again, she's noticing a wall cloud, but no actual things coming down. Thankfully, no funnels or tornadoes, which is a good thing. But again, this area is the most suspicious of them all. And, you know, you could kind of use your imagination. If this thing continues to move towards the north and east, you could kind of draw a line. So I want the folks in Jefferson County, you folks in southern Leavenworth County, I should say, northern Johnson County, western Johnson County, northeastern Douglas County, I want you to be aware of this storm. No tornado warning for you yet, but as we tried to give Douglas County about a half-hour heads up, a tornado warning could be coming if this thing kind of does, you know, some more suspicious things. And you can kind of see the inflow area right in through there. This would be the southwest part of Douglas County, right along, Gary's kind of pointing it out for you, right along 56 Highway and towards the west of 59. I do think now we have Michelle ready to go, who's got a better cell signal for us. Michelle, take it away.
Okay.
Okay, so Michelle's having a tough time hearing us, but you could see her pictures. They're driving through a driving rainstorm, and that's just one of the other aspects of this particular type of situation where we're seeing these tremendous amounts of heavy rain. She was remarking a little while ago that one of the other storm chasers who were on the same road that she was, just a little further ahead, commented about how the road ahead of her had turned into just a mud pit. So as a result, they stopped in their tracks. This way they didn't have to fight through that and have kind of pulled a different route change to try to cover this storm as best they can. Coming back to me right now as we bring you up to date on this radar situation. And again, I just kind of want to point out a few things to you. And there's so many other things that we're kind of keeping an eye on for this particular storm, including that little notch right there, maybe something a little bit further south of that. This is just towards the north and east of the Overbrook area, and that's why, again, a good chunk of Douglas County is now under a tornado warning up until about 6:30 or so, and that's why we're going to stay in continuous weather mode until at least 6:30 as we track this storm moving on through. Gary, can you take a look right up through there, and let's see what we're looking at, if we're seeing any velocity of suspicion.
Broad.
Okay.
I've got it on Carly's
So
as
you have
well.
it? Okay. So look at this. There's
well.
Overbrook. There's that little center of circulation right there near the Overbrook area moving towards the north and east. And again, we haven't had, I'm going to look over at Carly here real quick, nothing on the ground, okay?
No.
So nothing on the ground that we're aware of. Now, it could be wrapped up in rain and we don't see it, but you know, that's a pretty strong indicator just towards the east of the Overbrook area of something rather suspicious. And again, that's getting ready now to cross over into the southwestern corner of Douglas County. I'm going to broaden out our view just a little bit and take you up towards northern Missouri very quickly, because I want to emphasize the incredible amounts of rain that northern Missouri has had around 36 Highway up towards the Iowa border. We've seen 3 to 6 inches of rain up across northern Missouri, and there are towns that are literally now shut down, shut off, if you will, from folks coming in because of the flooded roads. And I'm especially talking about the Albany area. Around Kansas City, though, right now, Again, we're just watching that storm. There's nothing in the metro, which is kind of amazing, right? When you look at what's going on just to our west. And as I mentioned a little while ago, the similarities to how these storms off towards the west of Kansas City kind of came together over the last about hour and a half, close to 2 hours or so. And what happened on Friday night were the storms in the same general vicinity. Again, if you remember, we were tracking all those storms just towards the west of here. John's got a little something. John?
Going off in Lawrence right
okay,
now.
The siren's going off now in Lawrence, Kansas. So Douglas County siren's going off now in the Lawrence, Kansas area. You can see they're right on the edge of this tornado warning. All right, so again, this is the area that kind of blew up on us on Friday night, and then it gradually, as the little cells were moving towards the northeast, the whole area started to kind of move a little bit closer into the metro, and then it turned into this wind threat. Then it turned into these little baby, what we call mesovortices, and those actually, in the end, produced 3 rather small tornadoes over towards Jackson and Lafayette County. And again, that same type thing, maybe not for those 2 specific counties, but that same type of setup is once again with us for the next several hours. So we want everybody to be very, very weather conscious from now through about maybe 8 or 9 o'clock or so for tonight, at least 8 o'clock and maybe even 9 o'clock. Gary putting a mileage on this for us. So just to give you an idea, here are the legends, right, or actually the legends are right there. All right, that would be 635 and up towards 35 and I-70. Okay, so that's about 50 miles away, if you will, from, let's just call it the heart, the center of the Kansas City metropolitan area. So we still have some time, and with the storm moving off towards the north and east at close to about 40 miles an hour, give or take, you know, you could use your head here a little bit, and that would place these storms heading into the metro sometime around 6:45 to maybe 7:15, assuming this storm holds together as it continues to move off towards the north and east. So there are lots of different little things that we're kind of keeping an eye on. And again, thankfully, at least at last report, no actual tornadoes reported so far with this, but just out of an abundance of caution, okay, we're watching this part of Douglas County in particular, Wakarusa, Clinton, all the way down towards the southwest part of Douglas County. Let's now get over to Michelle. She can hear us now. And Michelle, bring us up to date about your travels here in the last about 15 minutes, what you've been observing and stuff like that.
All right, Joe, so we saw that circulation, that broad circulation on that warned cell just south of the Overbrook area. What happened was, as the inflow was coming in, and yes, it was rotating there, but no funnel cloud formed, it started to weaken, and then it recycled a little on down the way. So we started to see a secondary wall cloud forming behind that system, and we had to get out of there because that was headed right over the top of us. So now we have made it to Overbrook. We are currently on 56. We are heading to the east, and it is very, very heavy rainfall. The circulation is literally going to be coming up right in front of us, and we have to be extremely careful and cautious while we are traveling on 56 right now, because we don't want to get ourselves in a bad position, because literally this thing will be right in front of us. That very, very broad circulation. Unfortunately, we are on the side where there is some very, very heavy rain, so it is going to be a little bit difficult for us to see. But I think once we can get out of the rain, as the circulation lifts to the north of 56, I think we are going to get a good view of that once we can start finding a north-south roadway to kind of travel along outside of where the showers and thunderstorms, the heaviest of the rains, are, making it very difficult for us to see. Let's send it now to meteorologist Carly Ritter with the latest. Carly.
Yeah, Michelle, when you get to about 59, that's when I think you're going to be able to cut north up towards Pleasant Grove and then eventually up towards Lawrence, if that's your trajectory. We want to bring you up to speed. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're in our extended coverage now because we are dealing with tornado warnings within our viewing area. And specifically, we're talking about Douglas County. We're also talking about those of you in Franklin County. We're also going to be talking about those of you in Osage County. Douglas and Franklin County, the tornado warning goes until 6:30. This is going to continue to be of most concern just to the east of Overbrook. Gary Frank, meteorologist Gary Frank, has been running radar for us right along 56 highway is where we're potentially seeing a little bit of rotation. Michelle is just ahead of this, but trying to get out of the rain, because here's the problem. This is a prolific rain-making thunderstorm, and the rain-wrapped tornado, if there is a tornado, is going to be very difficult to see. In addition to that, I mean, come on with the lightning. There is so much lightning with this thunderstorm. It is going to be something that is not ideal to be underneath because you won't be able to see anything. In addition to all of the threat of just the electrical field out there, the thunderstorm certainly producing a ton of lightning. I'm looking at some of the reports. The current circulation, as we just showed you, is right along 56 Highway. So we're seeing that location down there, but we're also seeing a little notch in the radar up there. So we're going to monitor both of these locations. But just, you know what, Gary, I would love it if we could maybe just put a little track on this, since the circulation, if there is a tornado, is right along 56 Highway. The storm, by the way, moving north and east at about 35 miles per hour. So as it drifts off to the north and east, see that little area right there, the orange, Gary's trying to get us recentered, the orange and the greens. That's where we're looking at velocity scans, and we have going red and green coupled together. That means there's some inflow and some outflow happening on our radar scans, and that indicates to us there may be some circulation. So as this drifts off to the north and east at about 35 miles per hour, it puts it into Wakarusa at 6:22, give or take a few minutes. It puts it into the town of Lawrence at about 6:27. So we're talking about just under the 6:30 hour, and it does look like that it could move very close to the town of Lawrence. So in Lawrence right now,